ownership is things that we have that become part of us. Okay, we own a house. We own a pair of shoes. Our children, our families, they're part of us. But when we look at anxious thoughts and feelings, when we look at those dark times that maybe we experience throughout our day, those negative thoughts, when that becomes that is ownership. That is when it becomes part of your identity, and that is when it's harder to get rid of. So let me give you an example. People often talk about my anxiety. When my anxiety is like this, when my anxiety plays up, they're owning that anxiety. Instead of saying, I have anxious thoughts. When I have anxious thoughts, I find I cannot think straight. When I have anxious thoughts, I get that feeling in my body that creeps up on me. When I have anxious thoughts, I panic myself. Can you see the difference? They are anxious thoughts. I'm sure all of you have times in your life when you're happy and not anxious. So when you talk about my anxiety, my depression, my anger, my frustration, you're owning those feelings. And it becomes part of you, part of your identity. So look at it from a different angle. I want you now just to imagine yourself looking at yourself from a distance when you would be experiencing feelings of anxiety, of doubt, of overwhelm. And what I'd like you to do is to just go inside. Imagine you're seeing yourself in that situation. Maybe there's a particular situation which would set off your anxiety. No more. Set off those anxious thoughts, which then becomes a pattern of what will happen next. When you expect that to happen, it will happen. So it's time to break that cycle. So imagine you watching yourself in that situation that would usually put you into an anxious state. And notice how you feel different in your body. Notice how being an observer takes you away from those feelings in your body. Because it's not happening to you, you're watching it happen to someone else. So just imagine now that you were able to look at it from another point of view, that you were to take yourself away from what is happening and view it from a distance. Notice how that feels in your body. Now imagine taking yourself back into that situation. I want you to think about something just for a second that would bring on some anxious thoughts. Think of something just for a second, bring it up, and feel that in your body. Got that? Okay, so now just let that go. Think of something else. Think of what you can have for dinner. Think about having, a bath or something nice, a massage. So get those thoughts out of your head and step back. Step back out of the action and imagine watching yourself going through that experience and notice the difference. Can you feel it? You don't get those same feelings because you're not the person it's happening to, you're observing it happening. So when you start to take responsibility and you actually remove those labels, take that ownership and throw it away. That anxiety doesn't belong to you. Why would you want to hold on to something like that? You have the ability to change the way that you think. And when you change the way that you think, the repercussions of that are amazing. So have a practice. Take yourself into that state. Imagine a time when that would set off your anxious thoughts in your head, and the ensuing thing that would happen, maybe the sweaty palms, maybe that feeling. Shake those off. Step back and imagine watching yourself doing that, and notice the difference. When you disassociate from what's going on, then you realize that the feelings aren't there anymore. And if you practice doing that, forward and back, you'll get better and better at it, because practice makes perfect. So if you're really interested in learning more about that sort of thing and how easy it is to just start reprogramming the way that you think and reprogramming the way that you react to things, then I'm here for you.